I'm going to speak here not as a director of company Nokia, executive board member of Nokia, but more as former Prime Minister and as a person who was leading a group of specialists producing a report for the European Commission in January 2006. In this report we designed our ideas how an innovative Europe is able to be achieved. I will return back to this report because I think it's still valid. Many of these ideas have not been yet executed, and I think in these special circumstances we are living today in the midst of economic crisis, this message is even more urgent than it was 3 years ago when our report was introduced. But first I will start by asking you, what is innovation? You have seen this word several times already today. We speak about innovation everywhere, but what is the real essence of innovation? I read several years ago a Harvard Business Review, and in that magazine I recognized one very nice, simple but nice explanation. What is the real content and real essence of innovation? The writer of that article asked, what is the opposite of innovation? And that is rather simple. It's imitation. Imitation is an excellent method to develop a company, to create growth in national economy, and to promote technological development in a company or in a whole nation. R&D is a very special tool to create competitiveness in today's world. But it is necessary for innovation, but it's not a sufficient method to create an innovative society. To be very brief and simple, R&D is more or less transforming money to knowledge, but innovation is transforming knowledge to money or well-being of a nation. When I started as Prime Minister in 1991, our economic growth rate was -7. So we had -7% economic growth rate in 1991. 2-3 years later, we already achieved +4% growth, and innovation policy and science and technology policy played a role in creating growth in Finland. But what are the lessons from the beginning of 1990s, if any, to be taken into consideration in today's Europe? The first lesson is that the crisis is always both bad thing and a good thing. When we discuss today economic crisis in Europe, we see only those negative impacts and implications of financial and real economic crisis. But the fact is that crisis is simultaneously a great opportunity to do something different, to do reforms, to change the behavior of companies and whole societies. That is very important to be kept in mind. Crisis is an opportunity, and that opportunity has to be fully utilized. On the short term, we need stimulus. On the mid-term, we need strategic cuts in spending and cuts in deficits. And these measures are needed so in order that our children will have long term. Without these efforts, our children will not have long term. This kind of message is very important to be kept in mind when designing new policies in these circumstances. Fourth rule, don't eat seed potatoes. When in the midst of crisis you have to cut expenditures in companies, in local governments, in regional governments and in national governments. You have to be very careful not to eat seed potatoes, not to eat or not to spend or to cut investments in education and research and development. These are necessary tools to create the future, and don't cut these expenditures. Try to increase them. Crisis is always an opportunity for, and it increases mobility. Take full use of that mobility. People are ready to give up old traditional sectors. People are ready to move to new emerging sectors. It's easier than in normal circumstances. Be patient. You cannot expect that everything is going to be changed overnight. You have to have patience to wait those long-term implications. And finally, this is more or less a message for the politicians. Don't think the next elections. Because if you think next elections, you are going to be lost. You have to have a clear strategy in these kind of circumstances, and then elections are coming, and in the case of my government, we lost the elections, but it was better to lose the election with good policy and clear strategy than attempts to meet all kind of practical demands, daily demands, and to lose after that in any case. So I'm optimistic. I believe that especially through information technology tools, biotechnology tools, nanotechnology tools, we are able to do better future for mankind. It's up to you. It's up to us how we spend these resources, how we use these technological tools. Getting out of this crisis is possible, but it is possible only with strategic goals, as I said in the beginning. With these words, I once again thank for the opportunity to be here in Spain, in this lovely, sunny country. And I hope that this is going to be, and I'm sure this is going to be in the future, even more innovative country. Thank you so much.